A huge explosion under the engine cover. Oh my God, the Ferrari. No. Let's go. We're on board with Perez. Ferrari gives me heart palp. Yo. Bottas starting from the end of the pit lane. Bottas is about to be released to the end of the grid. Long wait. Yeah, it is a very long wait. The front runners are not going to be having a whole lot of temperature in their tires. Everybody at the front on mediums. The lights are on now. Race start. Who's going to lead it? Who's going to lead it into turn one? Great start from pretty much everybody in the front. Very good starts. Perez also a great start. Russell along Sainz into turn one. Sainz going wide there. Sainz is back in the mix. Let's go. Perez just kind of chilling back there in no man's land. A little bit of scrapping in the back. Nothing too crazy. Does Perez get the Mercedes? Ooh, Perez almost alongside Russell here. Are we going to see him into turn four take it? Perez going around the outside of four, and Perez gets tagged by Russell. No, they touch. Perez gets tagged by Russell, exit four. I don't know whose fault that was, but we're going to need to see that replay. Oof. The orange cloud is super thick going through 6-7 there. Let's see if does Perez get it moving? Perez is moving. Vettel's got damage as well. Russell lost an end plate there. Yeah. Tsunoda and Albon also a starting procedure infringement. Perez puncture? Possibly. Perez is in the pit. There's a hole in Checo's side pod as Checo pits for hard tires. We could see if he's got that much damage to the car, we could see a lot of performance loss from his car and potentially even cooling issues. You remember last week with Max, how he lost so much performance by having a little piece of end plate stuck under his floor? Yeah, we're going to see probably a painful race like that for Checo, and they don't know how much balance he's lost or how much load he's lost off the car yet. So DRS is now enabled. Leclerc is not in striking distance. Only Magnussen on Ocon, and from basically 6 backwards. Perez was ahead at the apex and Russell tags him. Perez was using all of the track as well. Perez ahead the whole way and Russell drives using the whole track. I think I'm a little bit biased there. I think that is pretty clear based on the overtaking around the outside. Perez had the advantage at the apex and Russell keeps driving and uses all the track and pushes him off. I think that's a penalty for Russell in my opinion, based on everything we've seen, based on the Albon Norris incident yesterday. I think using that ruling. Mick overtakes Hamilton. Oh my goodness. Lap 5, Schumacher overtaking Hamilton. Lewis saying that straight line speed of the Haas is crazy. Leclerc is within 0.6 of Verstappen. We're on lap 8 and Leclerc is closing up to Verstappen. He is in the DRS. Leclerc setting purple laps. Max is about to lap Perez as well. We saw it from yesterday. The Mercedes pace in Austria is slower than it was high fuel pace in both Canada and Silverstone. Max and Leclerc going straight through Perez. Nothing there. Yeah, Perez's race is done for sure. We're going to see a very, very interesting race with Leclerc on Verstappen. I think all the marbles are to play for. Sainz 2.1 seconds off of him. Russell cannot move away from Ocon. Ocon in the DRS on Russell. Oh my God. Turn 4, Leclerc trying to go around the outside. I think Leclerc, if Leclerc keeps making moves like that and can't stick them, he's going to burn up his tires. A little bit of a front lock into 4 there. Leclerc now taking a lot of margin through 6, 7. You cannot follow that closely through these high-speed corners. You get so much washout. Max on the radio. So Max is telling GP on the radio that he can't hang on to this for too much longer. Russell has now received a 5-second penalty for causing a collision. Now Leclerc's had a couple lunges on this last lap. He's going to get another go. Going into 3, locking up the outside front just a little bit. That is, you know, Max is saying he can't hold on to this pace, but Leclerc is definitely going to burn up these mediums if he keeps doing those lockups into the corner. Leclerc setting purple still within 0.6 of Verstappen. Sainz is now closing up to the gap to the front 2 leaders. So Max and Leclerc using up a lot of tires, defending and attacking. We saw this yesterday in the sprint race when Sainz and Leclerc were fighting. Max could run away. Now Sainz is on the back of this train and he is able to close up a bit. In my opinion, if Max does not make a mistake, it is going to be very difficult for Leclerc to get ahead. Leclerc having a look up the inside to 4 and he's got him. Leclerc goes through 4. He has stuck it. Now Max is on the attack. Is he going to get this back or is that done? Leclerc with a beautiful move up the inside of 4. Max was not expecting that. And I was forced to eat my words immediately, but they made it happen. That aged well. The Ferrari fans in the stands going wild. Russell serving his 5-second penalty as well. And Russell changing front wing. He's lost an end plate in that collision with Perez. Leclerc has 2 track limit warnings. Have they been forced in early? Lap 14, it's 2 stop. Is he going on to new mediums? No, he's going on hard. Max is going on to hards at lap 14. It is potentially a little bit early. I'm not sure the number of track limits warnings you're allowed. I'm not sure if Ferrari can cover the undercut or if Max will actually get the undercut. Max doing 110 flats. So Max is basically going 0.4 seconds a lap faster than the Ferraris. Max coming through on Hamilton now. Max on new hards. Perez is in no man's land doing 1 minute 12s. What happened with Red Bulls? Max has pit onto new hards. once, and then Perez got punted off by Russell. So Russell got a 5-second penalty for punting Perez. Perez gets a black and white flag, track limits. What's the point in keeping Checo out? I have no idea. I'm not sure if you can just do that, because then most teams would just retire. The race is early. We'll see what happens. Max up the outside into 3 on Lewis. Not going to get it done now, but he'll probably get this job done into 4. Max with a second, almost a whole second a lap faster than Lewis. Max going around the outside of 4, and Lewis just tucks in. Lewis doesn't fight that. Lewis knows that Max has a lot more pace, and if he's alongside, Lewis will make up more race time by just letting him go right here. So GP has we're on lap 23, and GP has just told Max that he thinks that the Ferrari might be on a 1-stop. He's told them that he's basically doing 1 second a lap faster than both the Ferraris on 22-lap old mediums. But yeah, obviously we've got the data screen is messed up for Max. I think it's 3 warnings and a penalty. Perez in. They're retiring Perez. Perez is getting retired. Yeah, Perez's car doesn't make sense to continue. They've retired him. Dan, seriously, man. Mick in the mix, bro. The Haas has been in the window. Leclerc in the pits going for hards. He'll come out behind Verstappen, just behind Verstappen, maybe 6-7 seconds. Ferrari stops looking clean right now. Yeah. So Leclerc stops on lap 27, and of course Leclerc flying to Max. So the current gap is 3.8. Why are the tires so shiny at first? It's just the mold release agent on them. It's not particularly typical, but the way the Formula 1 Pirelli tires are made, they have a sheen to them when they come out of the molds. Stroll is in 4th on lap 30 because he has not stopped yet. We're on lap 30, and Max has said there might be rain, and we saw rain on one of the camera lenses. Will it be enough to mix this up? Leclerc is closing the gap rapidly on Verstappen. Sainz also putting in very reasonable lap times at this point, holding a 6-second gap to his teammate. Leclerc is flying on that new hard. GP, Max's race engineer, saying they don't expect the rain to be substantial, so maybe just a little bit of sprinkle on the track to mix it up, but probably won't have an impact. Max is in trouble if the Ferrari's this fast, for sure. I'm not sure if the sprint played into their hands in terms of understanding, but definitely Leclerc having a clean race to battle Max and getting the move done. Basically what Sainz did to Leclerc in the sprint, Leclerc did that to Max at the start of the race. That's my take on it. So lap 33, Max lets Leclerc go. Leclerc on substantially newer hard tires, and Max is just going to try and follow him, not wasting too much tires. The name of the game for Verstappen now is to mitigate time loss. Sainz will be coming through in a bit, I reckon, but let's see what happens. Norris on track limits. Alonso waving his finger at Tsunoda for not giving him space. Alonso giving Tsunoda one of these. Love that. Max on lap 37 coming in for a new set of hards, switching to the 2-stop to go to the end. Can he switch on these new hards? They are not making a front wing adjustment, so he was happy with the balance. He just wants some new rubber to go to the end. So GP basically just came on the radio and said, we recommend you matching Hamilton's lap times, doing low 110s to stay ahead, but there's plenty of laps to go and you're free to push if you want to. So basically what GP just did over the radio was told Max, you've got 32 laps to go. It's up to you what you want to do with the tires. I mean, Leclerc has a free stop, but Sainz will probably not want to stop, so Leclerc would lose out on position to Sainz there. Okay, black and white means the last warning before you get a penalty. Gasly just did a Russell on Seb. I do not think that the 1-stop was indeed the race. Maybe on a pure race pace if you're cruising, but if somebody's forcing the issue, forcing you to race, this is easy a 2-stop for most people. I do not think that Max can push to the end and overtake on these tires. So Lewis has been given the black and white flag. Is Verstappen catching up? Yes, he is. Verstappen's gap to the lead is 18.6. It was at 20 seconds 3 or 4 laps ago. Leclerc has fit hards to go to the end of the race. He's got 21 laps to go. Sainz is also stopping 1 lap later. They didn't want to stop. So Sainz is coming in. Let's see if they go onto different tires. Are they going to mix it? Sainz is also going into hards lap 51. Do I see Max going on to soft tires? No. Leclerc is already in DRS range on Max. I think if Max loses too much time and they can stretch it out a little bit longer, they might try mediums or softs to the end and pray. If Max pits now, he falls to P3. Max will be struggling to hold P2 now. He's still doing low 110s, but he's being outpaced by over a second by Sainz behind him. Sainz is losing power. Sainz is losing power. He's got some rooster tails of smoke. We have lost Sainz. We will have potentially, so Sainz being very deliberate on where he puts the cars, not to cause a huge safety car. Maybe it'll be a VSC. This is going to shake things up massively. Sainz, no, he says. The Ferrari is on fire and it's rolling backwards. This is going to be a disaster. Ferrari on fire. He needs to cock the wheel and let the car back into the wall and get the out of that car. Virtual safety car deployed. Sainz is sitting in despair on the sideline. Leclerc coming in for some mediums. Leclerc is in for mediums. Max in for mediums. What is the gap between these guys now? We're on lap 59. We've got 12 laps to go. There could be a chance for Max, but I think Leclerc's got it. So if Max can put pressure on Leclerc now and cause Leclerc to burn up his tires, he could have a chance. But I personally think at this stage, my money is on Leclerc to win this. The Ferrari looks fast. Verstappen gap 3.7. So throttle pedal signature to engine response appears to be fine for Leclerc. Mick up to P6, Magnussen P7. We've got 9 laps to go. Hamilton on for another podium, third P3 in a row. Is it going to happen? We've got 8 laps to go and he's making up 3/10 a lap. He needs 10 laps to be in striking distance, basically. So Max is going to have to turn it up to go to the end. Max has been stuck behind Mick for a lap. Leclerc having to give so much margin braking for turn 3. He looks super conservative there. So Leclerc comes from P2 to P1 victorious. Max 1.5 seconds. Leclerc doing a little bit of a ballet across the start finish line. Max P2. Hamilton crossing the line in P3. Russell P4. Ocon, Mick, Norris, Magnussen, Ricciardo, and Alonso. Bottas and Albon just missing out on points. Vettel dead last today, unfortunately. Haas double points. Mick P6. Let's go. Why does Binotto look sad? I don't know, because they missed a double. Toto giving a bit of applause, a little golf clap for Hamilton and Russell coming in 3-4. A good result for the Mercedes this weekend, considering their pace yesterday in the sprint. Solid, consistent point scoring as Mercedes find their way back to the front. Mick in P6. What a fantastic drive. Leclerc wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Realistically, I think this is the first time we've seen Ferrari on super attack mode and being able to overtake a Red Bull outright. Is this going to be a tale for what we're going to see for the rest of the season? Because the Ferrari finding their stride in attack mode for the first time. Unfortunately, Sainz with the DNF, but Leclerc coming home P1 from P2. But is the reliability going to mess them over completely?